And to close this week, we have the My Android Journey section, and it's from Farhan Ahmed. Hi, Farhan, how are you?
Hey, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Where are you coming to us from this evening?
I am from Pakistan.
Excellent. Whereabouts?
It's Sialkot. It's a city in Punjab,
Oh,
and
excellent.
it's probably north of the country.
Yeah.
Sorry, north of the province, and we are in the southern part of the country here.
Uh-huh. And tell us about your Android journey. How long have you been using Android for?
Yeah. So I started my Android journey back in 2014 when I got my phone. It was a Samsung Grand Prime. I've used Symbian phone all my life. I think, yeah, I always used Symbian phone. I never had another one, the simple phone. So in 2014, I got this phone, and it was really exciting because you were able to use it was empowerment. I will have to say. I was able to use a lot of the apps, WhatsApp, and all kinds of social media apps that I really wanted to use. So having that Android phone was a really fantastic thing. So I learned about Android devices from a couple of my other friends who were using, some of them were using Apple devices and some of them had Android devices. So I had a mixed experience, but I settled on the Android one due to its flexibility and its open policy for, in so many aspects. So I used Android for almost a lot of the things. Um, and I was able to use that for, listening to a lot of the stuff for class, and I was also able to use that for so many of the things because it was 2014, so I can't really recall all of the stuff. um and it was like Android 4.4. So in 2016 I was in the US, and I was looking for a new device because I thought this is an old one. So I still remember, I still have that phone, Warren Yumi Super, that we bought from China, and it was a real thing. It was Android 6.0, I believe.
It was. I think it was either six, or was it a nougat? I don't remember, but yeah, it was a. Um, don't even go back to that, Yumi. It was a good phone though, for its time.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. But the screen is broken, so it's just lying there. I don't even
ah,
know what to do with it. Yeah, and I also bought an LCD from China, and it didn't work. Actually, they sent me a faulty LCD, so I have given up on that phone. But it's still lying in the dust, actually. So, come to forward to yeah, I used Yumi Super for a couple of years, like 27, I think 20, part of the 2018, and then I got a new phone with the Xiaomi. I was introduced by Warren to this one. It was Mi A1, and right now I'm using Xiaomi Mi A3, but I am planning on upgrading to Samsung S21 Ultra if my credit card company does come into rescue for a little bit. So I believe this Android thing has provided me with a lot of the independence that I needed. Um, uh, I am really excited for the features that have been implemented in Google Talkback, and then I also use the Jishu screen reader, commentary screen reader, which provides even more options. For example, I can use multi-finger gestures, which are not available in my talkback at the moment. Um, so it has been a fantastic time. I am really hoping that you know the Microsoft Word and Excel. We could use that just like I use that in my laptop. Then this Android phone will be my main hardware for everyday use. I now use this device to, for my class as well because I teach. I teach at in a government college university, so I use my phone when I need to read some notes. And I mean, a lot of the things, small tasks that I really needed to complete, and it's really helping me along the way. And I'm really looking forward to the new updates and new things coming in Android.
That's great, Farhan. And just on G Show as well, I don't know if you've heard on previous podcasts, Warren has been trying to stoutly defend Talkback in the face of G Show from Marion, and every single week he ends up getting utterly schooled as G Show completely outclasses Talkback in most of the things that they try to do when compared to each other. Isn't that right, Warren?
My head just fell to the floor hearing that, the Jishua or Joshua, like Austin called it one time. Come on, man. Don't go about poo-pooing my talk back here. But wonderful story, Farhan. And really, I think that what really encourages me in your story is the fact that actually you find some use for this in class as a teacher. I think that's a fundamental story, very huge story, most especially is if it affords for you to be able to do something like this as a blind teacher. I think this is really good. And this is one of the stories that, we don't often hear how
Mhm.
Android is helping people, accomplish certain tasks in their lives. And this is a very important story for me, and I believe to every other person that's listening to this. This is definitely encouraging and worth the mention. Thank you so much for giving us
Yeah,
that beautiful Android journey story.
I'm really want really want to see this thing getting improved in terms of Microsoft Office or even Google Office for that matter, Google Docs or Google Sheet, however you want to call it, because there are certain I mean it's I would say it's like 60% it works, and but I'm sure as things move along there are features they will be incorporating, but I don't know. The, some developments are taking place really slow, but I'm really optimistic. I am hoping that one day, I can dump my computer, my laptop, and I wanted to buy a tablet. I think I mentioned that to you once, but because
My stand on tablets, and we were talking about this earlier on just before the program, and I am not a tablet kind of guy, and I don't care who it is coming from. I'm just not into tablets. I don't care what it is.
Mhm.
I
No,
don't
but
know.
yeah, but I mean, I was looking for some like I was because I my laptop was due for upgrading, and I was looking for some portable options. And I thought, if I'm gonna spend like $500-600 on a new computer, why not buy a tablet? But comes to mind that there are still some accessibility issues. For example, I needed to take attendance of my students, and I know I can if I really had the intentions. There are definitely ways for me to take attendance in my phone, in my tablet, but it becomes a little bit inconvenient to do that. So um, this is one thing. This is one of the reason I take my laptop in my class, and there are like I have books downloaded from Bookshare, and it's easier to navigate those books with a laptop than a phone because you know that the navigation keys, the hotkeys, um, because they're bigger files. But
Yeah.
I'm sure that but these are some of the problems that I had with the phone. But I think in coming times these can be sorted.
Now, Farhan, could you, could it be possible maybe you could use something like maybe one of those foldable keyboards that might come in a little bit handy. And I'm kind of thinking about attendance that you're talking about, trying to take attendance of your students. You probably have it like in a spreadsheet format or whatever, where you mark, that a name is present or not, and things like that. Probably something like a foldable keyboard, but I know the support is not very good. However, though, I think Google Docs or Google spreadsheets is kind of becoming more and more accessible, and probably you should try doing that, maybe, or even an OTG cable, and see how that
I
goes.
do have a
No,
foldable keyboard.
I
I just
agree
want
with Forehand because I was a teacher too for a long time, and it's not so much a matter of navigating the screen. It's more about some of the features. Like it's hard to you still can't cut from I'm sorry, copy and paste from a non-editable text field. And so, like if you're reading a book and you want to copy and paste some information for lecture notes, you can't do that. And then when taking attendance, it's sometimes it's more about the way the interface works, and it just the keyboard for support for Android isn't all that robust, so it's
No,
doable, but it's much quicker
on the
on
computer.
Windows PC. So I
Yeah.
really
yeah.
understand where he's coming from.
And then when like in Excel, like there's a feature in JAWS that you can assign a header, like column headers and row headers that JAWS speaks when you move down. And that is a really, really important feature in my opinion, because you
Yeah.
cannot really like press left arrow and see which the name is, and then press right arrow and then put
Yeah.
P or put A in front of it. But still, I think Android really helps. I thought about getting an iPhone, to be honest with you guys, but it hurts. It
Did
hurts
did
to
you
see.
mention the I word? Maybe I should terminate my friendship with you.
No, 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 no. I didn't.
And imagine that boy mentioning that thing on our Android podcast. Come on, man.
No, but it's too. But I mean, the next part should explain why I didn't go for it.
I'm just kidding,
If
bro.
Sure, sure. You have all the liberty. Yeah. So I mean, it discourages to see the way that thing works, and I cannot really stand restrictions. I'm not that kind of a person. I wanted to install whatever app I want to install in my phone, and I wanted to do whatever because I paid for the device, and I understand the support and the security, but I think we are fine enough. We are good enough to know what works for us. So Android really provides you that kind of a liberty, and I'm really, really, really happy to be among the users of Android.
Well, thank you so much, Farhan. That was a wonderful story. And again, I hope, though, that somehow down the line, and like you, I'm an optimist, and I believe that we're going to have all of these things that you're wanting and talking about. So you'd be able to use your device the way you want it to. And so we're looking forward to that. And I'm believing that one of these days that's going to be that story. We're going to come back again and reflect on this and say, hey, remember how we used to say how we wish we could do this. And like Anna was saying, be able to copy portions of a book or sentences and be able to paste that without whatever. So I am sure we're going to be able to have all of these things coming down the line. So thank you so much for this story.